Hey everyone, this is King Kong 9100, and today I'm going to be making one of my last videos on the topic of King Kong 2018. For those who don't know, King Kong 2018 is what I'm calling the King Kong from Ready Player One, which, from my calculations, he stands at over 300 feet tall, which is the biggest King Kong we've seen yet. Please check out the video I made where I compared all of Kong's sizes, because I worked so hard on it. Okay, so yeah, today I just wanted to quickly discuss Kong's design overall and as well as his role. So on the very short topic of Kong's design, I mean at least until the movie comes out, that's when we could fully discuss it. But because we only have like 3 clips, this is going to be a very short discussion. But Kong's design, it's very unique. I mean, when you look at his silhouette, he looks very basic, you know? I mean, it's just Kong, there's not much to it, but we could see his arms are kind of short, you know? It kind of reminds you of the MonsterVerse Kong rather than like an actual King Kong where an actual King Kong's arms, like his hands would be like reaching his knees and possibly even longer than that. This Kong's hands they look to reach about his knees. On the topic of proportions, his head is also proportioned really weird, you know? It kind of looks like it looks very reminiscent of King Kong Lives, where the head is kind of small and the actual face takes up most of the head, unlike King Kong 2005. The head and the face struck a balance and his face took up half the head, while this Kong's face takes up more than half of the head, so it kind of looks weird. And yeah, since there's no scarring or anything, I mean, this Kong looks very basic. It looks much like the one from King Kong Lives, which is very, I mean, everyone shits on King Kong Lives, but I like that film, you know? I mean, I grew up with it. King Kong Lives, even though it was very weird, it has a charm to it, sort of like the King Kong 1962 Toho suit design. God, that was a mouthful. But yeah, you know, I mean, and of course this Kong's teeth are my dream Kong design involves King Kong having jagged teeth, but that's just me. You can see here he looks to have all his fangs, you know, nothing major going on, like with a ripped, I mean not a ripped, but half of his lower left fang, like King Kong 2005's, how that was missing. None of that is going on in this new design, so that's pretty cool. I noticed in this picture his face, the wrinkles make him look really old, but you know, I'm not gonna say much about that because you know I don't think it really matters that much, you know. I mean, that's one thing I dug about the 1962 King Kong was that he looked so much like a kaiju in terms of like his face being long and not so ape-like, not so modern. You know, he looked very old, very rugged, very ancient. You know, and again because of how long his face was, it looked really cool, and that's what I really liked about that King Kong design. But again, you know, his face, there's not much coloration to it. It's very desaturated, so it does a desaturated face is bound to look like King Kong Lives, especially if the fur is all black. For some reason, King Kong 2005, even though his face, there's not much color to it, he still has scarring that it makes it pop much more, and his eyes are yellow, you know. But yeah, one more thing is that the head of this Kong is shaped really weird, like the top. You know, it's like it curves in. It's very weird, and it's small too, so yeah, I mean that's one thing I don't like about the modern King Kongs. I mean, and in terms of modern King Kongs, I'm talking about Legendary Kong, the one from the MonsterVerse, and this Kong is that they make the heads very small, you know. And I like how King Kong 2005, even though he was very gorilla-like, one thing that I love about that Kong is that his head was really big. It showed that this Kong is an ape. He's very ape-like. He's very intelligent. While with this Kong, I feel like Kongs with smaller heads aren't as intelligent as King Kong 2005. But, you know, that doesn't really matter. So yeah, I do like how in this picture though, when King Kong jumps, the way his posture looks in this specific shot looks very much like King Kong 2005's posture when he jumps, because it looks like his legs are shorter than his arms, when really, when you go back a few frames, it's the total opposite. So yeah, again, it is too early for me to talk about his design until I see the actual film. But yeah, from what I've seen right now, his design isn't so like, whoa, look at this and look at that. But it's nothing that's not noteworthy either. So I'm honestly just gonna watch this film for King Kong. I mean, I know it has Iron Giant and all that. I haven't watched any Iron Giant shit, but it is like a little side treat. That's why I'm hoping Kong makes more than a cameo in this film, because the film itself doesn't look to be that great in my opinion. I mean, it does look fun, but as I watch it more and more, it kind of seems a little bit nerdy. And I'm not one to talk about being nerdy. If you've seen my whole room being filled with King Kong and Godzilla stuff, this kind of nerdy I'm talking about is kind of the whole like the anime shtick and I don't know, Gundam. Like I'm pretty sure that's like it's like Ultraman. You know, I mean, I don't really watch that kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm mainly only in it for King Kong. You know. So we can see from these clips, Kong is only in one scene, which from what I heard is a supposed boss battle or something like that. Kong is on the Empire State Building fighting biplanes, and he just jumps off the building and lands right behind a car that flies into the air. We also get another shot of Kong roaring while he's in some harbor, and yeah, that's pretty much all we've seen of Kong so far. Way to milk a subject, huh, folks? So yeah, again, I heard Kong is serving as a boss, but in the trailer we hear the main guy say, "You can play as anyone," and then he says, "Kong."
And be anyone.
Iron Giant!
Lex Luthor. Chucky. Kong.
Also, right before the shot of Kong roaring, we get to see some girl screaming, which could indicate Kong is being played by her.
Anyone.
When we got that shot of Kong landing on the cars in like the second trailer, I was so skeptical that I made a video for nothing since he looked around 50 feet tall in that shot. But after seeing the harbor scene and just looking at how big Kong is compared to the Empire State Building, I'm pretty certain he's over 300 feet tall, since what I calculated was the distance between his hand and foot, and not taking into account his hunched position. From what we've seen, this Kong could possibly be the most powerful. He might be the most agile since he leaps a big ass distance, but I did hear King Kong 1976 leaping between both Twin Towers was a pretty insane feat. Him being the most powerful it could be debated, because we might not have nothing to go off against, you know? He might not fight any other monster / enemy, so yeah. But all in all, this seems to be the biggest Kong yet, and I can't wait to see him in the film to make what's hopefully a bit more than a cameo. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. This is King Kong 9100 signing out. See ya.